From Oklahoma's own, this is On the Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages Porch.
Welcome to this week's episode of Beyond the Porch. I'm Addie Crawford, and today we are showing you Art Now. It's a new exhibition here at Oklahoma Contemporary. It's absolutely free, and it's absolutely amazing. Let me just tell you, we have guest curator Alexa Getzinger. Yes, got it, nailed it. All right. Tell us kind of what we're sitting in and what audiences can expect.
Well, first I'd like to thank you guys for coming out. It's really great to have you here. And this exhibition is a signature biennial that Oklahoma Contemporary puts on every other year, and it highlights only Oklahoma artists. So the stipulation is you have to be living and working within the state of Oklahoma to participate. And this year I selected 26 artists across the state from several different communities. We did studio visits to select their work or talk about work they were making specifically for this show together, and then it all came together for a period of installation, and I can talk more about that when we head over to see the site-specific mural and other large-scale installations. But the theme of the exhibition is materials and boundaries. So we were highlighting practices that are very specifically nuanced in the materials that they use, or they have a very specific personal connection to Oklahoma and the state at large.
There's 26 Oklahoma
Correct.
artists.
Yes.
How in the world did you get everyone on the same page with 26 artists? That's amazing.
There were a lot of emails.
Yeah, lots of emails.
Yes, but it really happened naturally. So in curating this project, I started with a theme, and I had an amazing fellow curator, Virginia Seitz, who we bounced back and forth ideas and names, and really worked together to hone in on whose work would look good and really gel in the concept of this, in the context of this entire exhibition. And so during the placements, we had some preliminary photos of the work that was being made, and it really came together naturally, like who was going to be the floor plan of the exhibition and who was going to be next to each other and how the colors worked. And we hope that it looks cohesive because when you have 26 artists, it's really hard to get that feeling. But again, these artists have very similar approaches to making their work, and they are also wonderful to work with. That was one of the stipulations that when we were trying to figure out who was going to be in this show, who was responsive, who was on time, who was going to actually make special pieces for this.
Before we get to explore and get to do some of the interactive things that you were mentioning, why do you think someone should come and see this for the first time? It's limited time, by the way. Let's mention that until February.
Yes, February 15th.
February 15th.
Is the closing date.
Why should someone come before February 15th to see this?
Well, again, this is a biennial, so whenever you do come into this exhibition, you will see only Oklahoma artists. It is insightful into the depth and breadth of artistic practices happening in the state, so you can really see the creative process. It's kind of a behind the scenes of what's happening in Oklahoma right now, and it's really exciting to see what's happening in the state because we are watching it become a place that artists from all over the country, all over the world, want to live and work because they have access to space, large studios and things of that nature, and equipment, and these amazing programs like the Tulsa Artist Fellowship that are bringing people in from all across the nation and the world. And so we're really lucky to have that in our state, and it's only raising the bar in terms of what's happening artistically.
All right, I am so excited to get to walk around, show everyone watching what they can see when they come here to Art Now at Oklahoma Contemporary. So what do you say we look around?
Sounds great.
Let's do it. Well, Alexa, this part of the exhibition is so unique. It's so cool. These pink TVs, you got to tell me about these.
So this artist is Lindsay Cox, and she's known in our community as a musician. Her band is called Stepmom, but she has kind of pushed into the boundaries of visual art recently with a collaboration at Factory Obscura called Profitopia, and she also won a film award for a stop motion animation, which is on the other end of the gallery. And so with this particular artist, we're asking a question, at what point does performance art blend into the space of visual art? And it's really kind of about the context in which it's seen, whether it's in a gallery space or on a stage, and how it's presented to the viewer. But this TV wall was a fan favorite during the opening night, and she actually had a performer who had on a TV on top of their head, which was interacting with the different installations. So it was pretty special.
That is so cool. It's definitely something that when you see it, you have to walk over and you're like, what is this? Yes. Wow, this is amazing. Then of course we have this over here.
Yes. And so this is one of our transplant artists, Leandra Lassar. She's a part of the Tulsa Artist Fellowship Program. And has been in major institutions like the Brooklyn Museum, and has done many fellowships across the United States. And this particular piece is talking about how digital art can be seen. A lot of times people view it on a monitor, on a flat screen, on a wall. And so this invites the viewer to walk in the middle of the space, to hear the sound coming from above, so to be completely immersed in what they're being shown, whether it's video or stills with her photography images that come onto the monitors.
So this is the same artist who did the pink.
No, this
is
is
not the same. It's not the same.
Yes, no,
okay.
yes.
Not the same, different ones.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, here we go. And you can actually see her hands and her image coming across the screen.
Wow.
Yes.
This is amazing. And I love what you said, how it's not flat art on a wall. There's so many different mediums and ways to interpret the art too.
Yes, definitely.
Especially in a fun way like this, you get to just be immersed in it and really experience it literally 360.
Yes, and in this particular gallery space, we have 3 different installations that needed the low light. So you can see behind the screens, this installation is another artist, Andy Mattern. He is a professor at Oklahoma State University. And you wouldn't think it by immediately looking at this piece, but he is a photographer. So this piece is all about photography, and it is really stripping it to the core. And these are different photographic papers. And what it's highlighting through the black light above is the chemicals that are in the paper that are making it glow. And so this is all about the materiality of the photographic process.
These are all 3 different artists.
Yes.
But their work kind of blends together naturally.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Yes. And so again, that's part of the nitty-gritty of the curatorial process, is whose work will complement each other and kind of resonate in the same space. And so that's what we were doing with this these low light pieces here.
Well, they were amazing. I'm so excited. That's just scratching the surface of what we can see here in the exhibition. So we're going to go over and see a little bit more. So we walked over to really the biggest piece in here, you could say.
Yes.
This is such an amazing mural. Kind of tell us about the story behind this.
So this particular site-specific piece is made by Carlos Barboza. He's an Oklahoma City artist. And when we approached him to actually paint on the wall, it was a really big ask for an artist, because at the end of the exhibition, this will be covered up. It can't stay here forever, unfortunately. But he is by trade a muralist, and people recognize his work in this large-scale format. He does have pieces that he paints on canvas. He has actually a show up right now at DNA in the plaza. But we were so excited that he wanted to actually paint on the wall of the gallery. And this is a very personal piece to him, as he was painting in the allotted installation window period, which was only about 2 weeks. So he painted this with a brush in that short amount of time. He was here pulling some long-hour days to get it done. But this is a young Carlos, and so he immigrated from Costa Rica as a child with his family. And the hands, the black and white hands, are symbolic of the past, what he was eating in Costa Rica, peeling an orange. And then as he immigrated to America and suburban Oklahoma, you see him eating a bomb pop, which is a loaded symbol in itself, and then draped with, half of the American flag here. And the title is called "What We Buried, We Became," and it talks about how his struggle to assimilate into American culture was very difficult. And, he had to kind of suppress parts of him that he grew up with growing up in Costa Rica. And something amazing, we didn't actually know what these pieces were going to end up looking like. This is a different artist, Sarah Sullivan Sherrod. And when we were curating the exhibition, we thought a lot about tradition versus innovation. And this artist, she weaves on a loom in her home. And so talking about traditional fiber arts and then how she's innovating and pushing them into a contemporary art space by painting on them, the frame that she's using, how she's displaying them. It's not just a rug on the floor, it's something totally different. And so when Carlos was painting and we brought her pieces in, they just looked so perfect in terms of the color palette.
They're so
it was
vibrant.
it's one of the happy accidents of curating.
Something, as you're talking and you're talking about Carlos' piece, whenever I walked in here, you kind of see it and you're like, oh wow, those are beautiful colors. You kind of look at it, but when you really sit there and you look and you see the symbolism, like with the bomb pop and everything, you just kind of get hit with a wave of emotion. I know I did. It's just a different thing from when I first saw it to when you really take it in and you just give it the time that it needs to sit in your mind, and you see it and you just kind of feel like, okay, I get what he's saying. I get what he's talking about.
Yes, it's a haunting image, I think.
Yeah.
And it's something that I think leaves an impression on a lot of the viewers. I think it's one of those pieces in the show that people aren't going to forget.
And you can see the emotion in little Carlos's eyes. You really see it. Wow, this is an amazing piece. And I just love the variety because we just saw the fun, pink, wow, that's cool. And then now you get here and you get the emotional aspect of it. But it's also beautiful, and it has the beautiful, vibrant colors too.
Yes. Well, one of the things is that we wanted there to be something for everyone.
Definitely is.
No matter your age, what your relationship to art may be, we want this to be an inviting space that anyone can really understand and interact with.
Yes, and we also have this amazing piece over here with its DVDs and CDs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And again, talking about your personal narrative versus a collective experience. And I think at a certain age, we all have a collective experience with these things that are now relics of the past almost.
Yeah, I don't think kids would even know what these are.
I know, yeah. They've never had to put one in, yeah.
No.
But this artist, she is a professor of sculpture at OU, Letitia Bayhuyao, and this was a very difficult install as well. So utilizing that installation window that we had about 2 weeks. But she built it on site, and again, it's really about our collective experience of these things that hold a lot of memory, and also can be wasteful now. What do you do with these things? Do you just keep them in under your bed like me and your whole DVD collection?
And in the same little binder you used to have
exactly. And so it's really speaking to what can we make art out of? This show is called Materials and Boundaries, and so you wouldn't expect to see a large-scale sculptural installation made out of this type of material. And yet, when you come in, it's beautiful and it sparkles, and you're making things out of someone's trash potentially.
And someone's memories too, because I see the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, that takes me back. And that's kind of fun too, is that you get to look and see like, okay, what do I recognize? Scrubs, the Air Buddies type movie. Like I see all the ones from my childhood too, so it's maybe something that you can talk about with whoever you're with, like, oh, remember that movie? Oh, I've seen that one. I used to have that one in mind too.
Yes, people have really enjoyed this piece in the space. And it's really, especially if you're of a certain age, you have a visceral response to it.
It's so fun. And something I noticed too that I honestly think complements as well is this piece on the wall with the flowers. Yes. It kind of goes with this.
Well, and that's intentional. So actually Letitia's piece was installed first, and then Mary Claire Becker came and installed hers, and she was actually shaping it to complement the sculpture that was already here. And then the third artist who has a large installation in this part of the gallery is Amy Sanders DeMello, and she has the Braille text on the wall, and so she completely changed her installation to, again, complement the other two that were already here.
So cool.
Yes.
The Braille is amazing too. And
yes,
you guys have some Braille in the works?
So her pieces, her vessels incorporate Braille and as well as her installation. So this is all of the same artist's work. And we were able to get all of the extended labels printed in Braille as well, and the curatorial statement. So anyone who is able to read the Braille can also read that for every piece in the exhibition. So Amy she is highlighting what it's like to live with an invisible disability. She has Usher syndrome, so she's slowly losing her vision and hearing. And although she's legally blind, she can still see. She just can't drive herself. So it's a little bit ironic. Most people who come to look at art in an art space are not the people that can read Braille, but she's using this platform to kind of highlight what it's like to live with an invisible disability.
I think it really exemplifies too what you were saying earlier, is that this exhibition is truly for everyone, and we see that here with the Braille.
Yes, there are several inclusive pieces, and we can talk about Nick's installation as well, which is a resident of she's part of the deaf community, and so sign language was one of her first languages, with her mom being deaf, and so it incorporates vibration and sound. This is one of the other large-scale pieces. Hong Hong is the other Tulsa Artist Fellow that's in the show. She's originally from China. We have several immigrants in this particular exhibition, Dan Lim Pham and Imgard. Dan is a Vietnamese. Her parents were refugees, so wow. She has created this altar space, and her lantern projects are something that she's known for, and so she created those as the backdrop to this altar. She also made the wood piece. Wow,
this wasn't. She made that.
Yes. So this is actually a sculpture that she created. It's so intricate. Perfect that people don't realize. No, this isn't store bought. This is.
And the butterflies on it are absolutely amazing. I can't believe. I know it sounds crazy to say that, but I cannot believe that people actually do this themselves. I can't even draw. I can barely draw a stick figure. So when I see all of this, it really blows my mind.
Well, and something that blows my mind is that a lot of people think when they first see these that they're paintings, but this is handmade paper. Wow. And so she creates, the way that you make paper, you have to pour it flat. And so she creates these huge apparatuses that then she puts the paper pulp down into. And if you can imagine, in a place like Oklahoma, with our wind and our weather being as sporadic as it can be, you get all kinds of things blowing into this. So there are bits of Oklahoma leaves and dirt and all kinds of different things that are a part of these papers. And she's been working on this series since 2019. So there are many locations represented on this wall.
I love that. That's amazing. We also have some more interactive things that we can do here at the ArtNow exhibition, so let's go head over there and do the little interactive part. Great. I am so excited for this interactive part of the exhibition. We're walking inside this little, what is this?
This is an interactive sculpture. It's a collaboration by artist Denise Duong, who is known primarily for her murals, and her partner Gabriel Friedman. They've done a couple large-scale sculptures like this. There's one on view at the Science Museum as well. But what they like to do is invite the viewer to come and participate. And so the title of this piece is I Give to You a Piece of Me. And their hope is that everyone who visits the exhibition will come in here, will write a thought, and then they'll shred it and leave it behind so that they leave lighter than they arrived.
Okay, so you can write
anything you want.
Anything.
Yes.
Maybe I'll just write negativity. Yeah. I want to leave that behind. I don't want that negativity. Okay. Negativity, and I want to shred it. I want to leave it all behind, so I just put it in here.
Do the little crank.
Shred it into little pieces.
Yes, and this is a fan favorite of any children that come and visit the exhibition.
But even for an adult, I love that because you can kind of just feel it. You just let it go.
Yes.
You just shred it to pieces and it's gone.
And hopefully by the end of the exhibition, everyone's negative thoughts or whatever they want to keep here is completely full and they let it all.
I love that. And it's just a way to get interactive and do something. And it's just showing that there's literally something for everyone. It's for little kids. It's also for adults.
Yes.
You can write something funny on there. You can write something serious, like negativity.
Whatever you want.
I love it. All right, so we have looked through so many things here at ArtNow. I've loved it. I've taken so many amazing things from it, thoughts, taken a look at everything. We have this as we walk by. Let's mention this real quick.
Yes, Nick Annette Miller is a Tulsa artist, and she is a part of the deaf community, and so highlighting these beehives, the sound of bees, it's not just the buzzing that those of us who can hear kind of resonates with, but the wings are actually vibrating. And so her helmet here is a feeling and a sound. If you put it on and interact with it, you can be next to it and hear the bees. And something very cool with her pieces is that they're interactive in a way. She invites all the viewers to find the queen, if you can. So you
find the queen?
Yes, yeah. There are 3 different hives and 3 different queens that you can find.
Okay, we won't show the viewer though, because they got to come over here and find it themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, we won't show. That's so cool though. You find the queen.
Yes.
Okay, and before we go, we got to show one more thing. Oh gosh, I really love that too. That's the thing. We can't show you everything because we want you to actually come and see it for yourself and experience
there's
it.
26 artists, and some of them have multiple pieces.
Yeah,
so it's hard
these
to
are
talk
cool.
about. But this is an artist, Caitlin Noel Nick, and she is known for her abstract painting, but she really pushed herself to make these inflatable sculptures that remind us of large-scale abstract paintings that you might recognize her other work to be. But again, it's called A Space for Joy. And so we wanted people to walk off the stairwell or off the elevator and feel immersed in a space of joy, because again, we're celebrating the Oklahoma artists that are part of this exhibition. We're supporting them. The institution is not only giving them a space to show their work, but they're paying them to do so. So we're really excited about what's happening here. And we hope that everyone else enjoys it as much as we do.
Well, I definitely enjoyed it. Thank you so much for giving us a little tour around all of the pieces here in the exhibition. Before we go though, what do you want the viewers to know about this?
Well, I think that it really does highlight the artistic talent that we have in Oklahoma, and I'm so proud of the artists that push themselves to make new work for this exhibition. I hope that we smash all attendance records because people are so excited to see what's here. And again, the interactivity within it is for adults, kids, anyone is welcome. And there's so many people here on site that can help to lead the interaction or also give you a small tour if you ask for it.
Yes, so you have until February 15th, right, to come see ArtNow. It's free here at Oklahoma Contemporary. You have to come see it. I have enjoyed, second time I've come now?
Yes.
And I've enjoyed it even more than the first time. So come a few times. It's free, it's fun, and it's great for all ages. I'm Addie Crawford, and you're watching the Beyond the Porch podcast. We will see you next week.